Welcome to Gun News Review. A Democrat running for a U.S. House seat in New York State has clarified remarks on an assault weapons ban. A video had surfaced of Tedrick Cobb saying she wants to ban assault weapons, but wouldn't publicly support a ban because she might lose the election. Her campaign released a statement Wednesday saying the 1994 assault weapons ban was well-meaning but very flawed, and that there's a safe and sane way to move forward. Republicans slammed Cobb after the video surfaced, prompting her to say that an assault weapons ban is not practical. A federal appeals court in Florida has agreed to consider a dispute about whether two teens can remain anonymous in a challenge to the state's new law, raising the minimum age to buy rifles and other long guns. The appeal is a result of a ruling in May by a district court judge that a 19-year-old unidentified woman could not remain anonymous as a plaintiff in the NRA's challenge to the law. The association also wanted to add another case of a 19-year-old man. A pro-Second Amendment measure will be on the ballot in Klamath County, Oregon in November after petitioners gathered enough signatures. If the measure is passed, it would enact an ordinance making it illegal for the county to infringe on the right to bear arms. And it would put the sheriff in charge of determining if any laws are in violation. In Montana, a shooting sports organization hopes to intervene in a lawsuit filed by the city of Missoula against Montana Attorney General Tim Fox. Fox had determined the city's new ordinance requiring background checks for most gun sales is unenforceable. His finding was challenged in a lawsuit by the city, but the Montana Shooting Sports Association filed a brief saying Fox's answer to that lawsuit failed to defend the individual rights of the association's members. The Brady Campaign is calling musician Ted Nugent a hypocrite for not allowing firearms at a concert Tuesday night in Roanoke, Virginia. Nugent's team reportedly made the decision shortly before the concert at the Berglund Performing Arts Theater, which used to discourage the carrying of firearms, but couldn't ban them because it's owned by the city. It's not clear what prompted the decision to ban firearms at the event, but the Brady Campaign is calling it Hypocrisy 101. Two Democratic U.S. senators have introduced new legislation which would affect gun dealers. That measure was written by Senators Dianne Feinstein and Edward Markey. Under the law, the ATF would be allowed to make compliance inspections up to 3 times a year. It would also have greater discretion in gun licensing and demand stricter record keeping. The senators say their proposal is based on a Brady Campaign report, which claims that just 5% of gun dealers provide up to 90% of guns used in crimes. You're listening to Gun News Review. A Utah Democrat state representative is proposing a law to require trigger locks or other secure storage for guns not in use. Representative Elizabeth Waite calls the proposal common sense legislation, citing recent school shootings and youth suicides. The NRA attacked the proposal Wednesday, and the legislature's Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Interim Committee held a long discussion about whether it would be effective and if it would infringe on gun owner rights. There's been a surge in high-capacity magazine sales in Vermont ahead of the ban there in a few months. WVNY reports several gun shop owners say sales spiked when the law was passed in March, and sales have remained steady. The ban goes into effect October 1st, but will not impact people who already own them. The magazine ban is subject of a legal battle between the state and gun advocates. Attorney General T.J. Donovan has filed a motion to have that case dismissed. In California, an appeals court has upheld an injunction which temporarily halts that state's magazine ban from going into effect. The law was supposed to go into effect last July, but the Ninth Circuit Court granted a preliminary injunction this week until a lawsuit filed by gun owners can play out. The ban won't be able to go into effect until that lawsuit is litigated further. And Jonathan Shue is once again the NRA National Precision Pistol Champ. Shue was able to overcome military, civilian, and international shooters at Camp Perry this week. After falling behind, Shue won the championship with a score of 2,625 out of a possible 2,700 points. He made 132 perfect shots, hitting the X on the target at 25 and 50 yards. He beat the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit's top pistol shooter by 2 points. You've been listening to Gun News Review. comprehensive, and concise.